Welcome to the Truth with Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Episode number 72 coming at you tonight. Big Tom Linnell joining us as a guest.
Welcome back, Tom.
Welcome back, Tom.
It is good to be back.
Awesome. Okay, big show tonight. We're talking about the Detroit Tigers fired Avila. Finally, we're going to talk about whatever King Tom wants to talk about, and the NBA trade asset list. Isaac spent a fair amount of time and energy researching this stuff, and Tom and I are going to rip him to shreds. Sound good?
Yeah,
Okay.
off the top, so we got some.
Okay, we got lots off the top. We obviously took a big break. That had to coincide with Bill Simmons' big break. Because this is really the worst time in sports unless you have a good baseball team. And I'm not sure if you heard, we do not have a good baseball team. So we took some time off, lots of traveling, lots of research, lots of games. But now we're ready to rock and roll. A couple guys we need to pay our respects to we lost in the last little while. Scully. Some of the best calls in baseball history. He was awesome.
Sports history.
Sports history. Yeah, sports history. I agree. And Bill Russell. He is one of the best team sport athletes of all time. He had to put up with so much crap, and he just won. Like, I'm not sure if anybody knows, but Boston, you're racist. Actually, LeBron's take was a good take.
LeBron had a rare W when he said that he doesn't like playing in Boston because
big
of that
W for
reason.
LeBron. So I've got a fair amount off the top. So Isaac, do you want to throw a couple in? And then
Well, you can do your
me?
bad ones, and then I'll try to carry the segment after. And Tom, do you have anything?
I got a couple off the top,
Okay,
actually. I do.
So Tal, go, and then
Sure.
and then the boys will go.
The KD trade, just more drama. So KD now was hanging out in Europe with Harden and Josiah, having espressos and croissants and talking about how he wants everybody to be fired, like Marks and Nash. I know Kyrie wanted Nash.
KD wanted Nash.
Come on.
KD also wanted Nash. That's what the smart insiders are saying. So now, the way KD's handling this, Tom and I, we really haven't talked about it. The way KD's handling this, I just hate, and I think I don't want to do the legacy thing, but not good for his legacy.
So just to clear it up, so he's basically saying you either keep me or you keep the pairing of the GM and Sean Marks and Steve Nash.
Correct.
I think so.
That's what my understanding is.
Mm-hmm. And apparently the headline today is it might get ugly, he said. Right?
Yeah,
Something
I'll
like
retire, it'll be really ugly.
He's not going to retire. And he's not going to sit the season.
He's not going to retire.
Because I criticize KD. I like KD a lot. He's a hooper. He's a guy that likes to play ball. He's not going to sit
He's obviously a bitch, but he can hoop.
I think he wants to hoop so
KD,
much.
if you're listening to the show, all due respect, but you're a bitch.
And there's a good... Respect.
Respect.
There's a good chance KD is listening to the show because of how active he is on nobody's Twitter
Well,
account.
Probably on his burner phone. But,
He's got one of his 17 burner accounts.
Yeah.
But it's a good point.
Yeah, so he might be listening. Kevin / whatever your fake name is.
He doesn't like to be called the
Slim
Reaper.
Yeah.
Doesn't like that name. Sorry, Katie. Tom Brady, 10-day break. What are the conspiracy theories out there?
I don't want to delve into that too much. I let him do his thing. I respect that. He's at the point where he can take 2 weeks off.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you guys know, but he's married to Giselle. So
yeah,
if he wants to go somewhere with Giselle for 10 days, more power to him.
Just leave the kids at home in one of their 8 homes.
Oh, live with what they got sweet nannies. Let nannies take care of the kids. Just go and hang out with Giselle for a while.
And let's just throw it out there that she is worth more than he is.
Yes.
So.
Respect.
She is.
Respect. Good job. Me too. Hashtag me too. Good job, Tom.
Hashtag me too. Equality. NFL preseason game. We went to the Lions game Friday night. We were a little late. But it was pretty sweet.
Very good game. Very fun.
Thanks to Joe Noons for the tickets.
Shout out Joe Noons, my boy.
Joe. Joe's one of the smartest guys I know.
One of the smartest guys I know.
Well,
actually, can we fill the audience in on that bit?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Tom, you'll like this. So Joe Noons is a friend of my dad's. Whenever that name comes up, the following sentence is always, he is one of the smartest guys I know. He hasn't been dubbed the smartest, and we don't know anyone else who's on this tier of smartest guys I know.
Jeff Butler's on the tier too.
Oh, he is. That's breaking news. So one day we're going to do an unveiling. We're going to do a draft.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to give you those 2 names. There's a couple other really smart guy names.
So that's just the joke. So whenever Joe Noons comes up, it's like, oh, is he one of the smartest guys you know? Because every single time. Okay,
he's
keep going.
Actuary nerd guy. Okay, so it was fun. The atmosphere was fun. I know it's not great, and Jerry Davis is probably going to be cut because if he is playing the entire game, that's not a good sign. But I don't know. The team was pumped up. The fans were pretty good.
I will touch on the lines a little bit in my little off the tops. So you keep going.
Okay. Prediction: they win 6 games. They're close in a lot of games. They still don't have any linebackers. Their quarterback is below average. And I still don't think their D-line and their DBs are going to be very good.
I'll say 7. I'll be optimistic and say 7.
I was going to say 7. They were in a lot of tight games last season, so
Right?
could
Tucker,
go the same with it.
right?
Yeah.
Justin Tucker hits the wrong side of the crossbar. They can hold off one of those other games, right? Like, there's lots of possibilities where they can win 7 games.
Well, here's the thing. They could win 6 games, and that's still twice as much as they did last year.
Good math. Really good math. Dude.
Yeah. That's Joe Newton's math.
Yeah.
He taught me that.
Okay.
Okay, good baseball story that Isaac really wanted to talk about this for a long time. I'll just give it a quick little blurb. This dude, Joey Meneses, was playing in the minor leagues for 11 years, like all over the place, Japan, Albuquerque, everywhere. He got called up by Washington like 10 days ago. He's got 5 dingers and he's batting 400. So this dude for sure would be batting cleanup for the Lions. And he was working at Hardee's
He's
like
batting
3 months
cleanup.
ago.
Sorry, batting cleanup for the who? The Lions.
Oh, the Tigers.
Lions. Good one.
Yeah, maybe
Keep
the
them
Lions.
moving because
We
no one
said it.
cares.
Yep. Windsor South. On a roll.
That's my baseball team.
They got
That's
some,
also
they
no
got
one.
some
Other
momentum.
than my coaches.
So you guys
Yeah.
sucked at one point. Now you're better.
Yeah, they're better. Coach
Okay.
Rob,
Yeah.
Coach John, underappreciated but very important. Coach Noah. I don't think he gets enough credit for
And
the
Coach
success
Ball,
of the team.
Alex dad.
Oh,
But
he's awesome.
This is not a Windsor South propaganda podcast. That's
Yeah.
the next episode.
They're a fun team. Windsor South Propaganda coming up. Episode number 73. Hey, did I talk about Ed Too-Tall Jones yet?
No. Quickly, go ahead.
Ed Too-Tall Jones, best 72 of all time. He was a beast. That was actually when the Cowboys weren't the devil.
I'm glad I didn't grow up
No,
in that
they're
era because I can't imagine myself liking Dallas.
They were
No.
actually pretty awesome. Tom Landry.
Do you have anything else to talk about? Any nonsense?
A little bit of nonsense.
Wow.
10 Kansas City Royals did not travel to Toronto because they're unvaccinated. They're bigger jerk-off franchise than the Tigers.
Correct.
Just saying that.
Yeah.
That's all I got for off the top for now. I got a
So
couple
just,
later, but
I said this episode is going to be long. I didn't factor in 7 minutes of nonsense, so it's going to be even longer. Tom, go ahead with
we've had a long break here.
Tom,
We can
go
go
ahead
ahead
with
and
your-
Well,
fans
now we're saying all
materials.
that. I don't know if you guys are going to care about this or not, but Trey Lance looks pretty good in preseason.
I'm totally.
He looks
I will
pretty
talk
good.
to you.
Him and Ayuk. I mean, I know people were talking about Ayuk looking good last year or whatever, and he ended up being,
He's pretty soft, right?
yeah,
That was his issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
but now it's like, even Darnell Mooney on the Bears. Like, there's players that like
He's gonna get
might
a lot
be
of
like-
reps.
I don't know.
Well,
Justin
he's going to
Fields,
get
Darnell
about
Mooney.
14 targets a game for fun.
Yeah, so it's
My turn. I'll
Bears,
go.
Sure.
Bears are going to be poop.
Okay.
They'll be
yeah.
poop.
No one cares about-
not,
not talking
no
about
one really
Chicago.
cares about the Bears,
I'm not
but
talking about the Bears. I'll go quickly.
Did go.
Jimmy Butler has predator hair now. That should have been the first thing you said. That's just worth talking about. That's all I have to say. I think it's sick. Speaking of Predator, the movie Prey, quite good on Disney Plus.
Quite good.
Quite good. Very entertaining.
That you were surprised at that?
well, I
Spur
wanted
of the
to
moment.
watch it. but
No. Did I stay awake for the whole movie?
Yeah.
It was like a night. It was
wasn't-
a night game.
It wasn't the whole movie, but it's fine.
I stayed awake for the whole movie.
Cap.
No, I did. No cap.
Nope. The movie Nope in theaters now. The new Jordan Peele movie. Very, very good. Not for everyone. Dad, you probably wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't like it. Tom, you might like it.
Sci-fi stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't think you'd understand. You'd have to stay awake, and You're not staying awake in a movie theater
As
unless it's Top Gun.
long as I get to walk, I'm okay.
one word, nope.
Tiger games. I've been to 14 so far this year. Just putting
What's the,
that out
what's the record in those games?
actually,
maybe
I
2
do
and
have
12.
it. No, I've seen more than 2 wins. I've seen like 4 wins, I think. Team Isaac, NRL, drafted, off to a good start. 2-0. That's for our fake basketball league that that I run, and Tom sucks.
Well, that's a little bit harsh.
More MVPs.
I think Tom has more hardware in his closet than you have in yours.
Yeah, but I'm young. I'm on the come up. Like Tom's an old veteran, like passing.
Hey,
of the
fun
torch.
fact about NRL, actually. I didn't say this to anyone. Yesterday's game was the first NRL game that I've ever missed in my career.
It might have been
In
mine
6
too.
seasons.
It actually, I didn't. I played what?
First
5
game
and
I
a
ever
half.
missed.
So Tom, no one cares about your bad
Where,
basketball.
where were you?
I was at a staff party for work. Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah.
That's such
So it went a little long. Didn't make it
Was the
back in
staff
time.
party in Chatham? Because that's the only reasonable excuse.
It was in Ruthven. So
Oh, it's just about the same thing.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
far
big
out.
parties in Ruthven.
Yeah.
So you probably saw a Kiss
It's
and
like one.
concert or
It's like
something.
one street. That's basically the city, or whatever you call it.
University is a few weeks away. L University, but our classes are picked out. Things are looking good. University soon, which means the NFL season is soon, because that's how the first day of school is actually Thursday Night Football, Bills Rams. So that works out nicely because
Nice.
school comes, which is bad, but it also means football is here. NBA schedule released soon. That means Tal and I and maybe the Ogs can book a trip
Yeah.
where we can map out NFL, NBA. We'll keep the listeners updated on that.
Christmas Day games were released.
We're not. No, don't give me. No, I'm gonna get really mad if we talk about
Who's
that.
not playing? The number one seed of the East from last year, probably. For sure they got a Christmas game, right? Established stars like Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler.
The Heat weren't. They didn't get one last year. Whatever.
Big names. LeBron's had a Christmas game for how many years straight?
And,
It's like,
and I don't want to see Julius Randle and RJ Barrett jack bricks on Christmas.
yeah, I didn't get the Knicks thing. I didn't get that. But
get it.
Biggest media market in North America.
It just.
well, I didn't. Yeah, but like obviously talent wise, they're not there.
No.
Yeah.
Then
We're lucky to be an 8 seed.
I saw Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem last night. Just an unreal concert. So sick. I overdosed on water to ensure that I could record for the people. So that's just like public servant. Like I'm doing my best for you guys. But the concert rocked.
So is this another like Jordan flu game?
No,
Bad
it's not
pizza?
quite a Jordan flu game,
Okay.
but it's like a. Well, unless I have the flu from the concert, which is a possibility. But sorry, guys. That's all I got for my off the tops. Linnell, do you have anything else?
I have one more. Bronny James, getting some D1 big time schools. Looking at him,
Michigan's interested in
I
I
him.
heard UCLA was kind of ahead of the pack for that, but it's still early. So
Where was LeBron gonna go? Was it Duke? There was a school where he said like it was one of the
Duke
big
or
ones.
Carolina. One
well,
of
he
the
loves.
Bloods?
I thought he liked. Well, he's a big Ohio State guy, obviously, but he.
No, he wouldn't go. They wouldn't pay him.
No,
enough.
he wouldn't. But I'm saying he is. I think
They
North
would have
Carolina
paid
was
him
in
a
there.
ton.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Ohio State,
Oh yeah,
not as much as what UCLA can just throw at him,
Oh, that's probably right.
or UNC, I guess at the time, or I guess Kentucky, Duke, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mainly, probably Duke. Probably would have been Duke. Yeah, I don't. The Bronny James stuff, and he had a good dunk today. That's just all over Instagram.
You see one dunk and everyone sees it for the next week. Yeah.
You know what? I even saw it, and I don't follow a lot of those accounts.
He could realistically be garbage and no one would know. So we don't really know.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Michigan.
Stop. I don't want him to. Come
No,
to me.
honestly, because like LeBron is going to know that Juwan Howard is going to protect him. It's a good program. It's a good springboard for the NBA. Then he'll end up playing for the Orlando Magic, obviously,
Or the Kings.
or the Kings.
I wouldn't mind that. Okay, I'm gonna go into my NBA stuff here.
You don't want to talk about Fire Avila?
Oh, after. Yeah, NBA first, and then Al stuff
Okay.
after, because no one cares about the Al stuff.
A lot of people do.
So, really quickly, here are the rules of this master list. I compiled the list of the most valuable trade assets currently in the NBA.
Man, he talks a lot, eh?
He does.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Did you make a list, Tal? Let's see your list.
I've got a top 20 list because
And it
that's
sucks.
all. Actually, top 21.
And it's why
No, it's good.
21?
Well, because I had to include Ivy.
Okay, that's
It's a good
Spoiler.
reason, actually.
Yeah.
basically I made this list. 64 dudes. Here are the rules of the list. Contract length matters. Contract cost, like salary, that matters. Age matters. Real life matters to an extent. For example, Rudy Gobert is very high on said list because of what the trade he got in real life, right? To a certain extent. And then, like I said, I have the contracts on hand. So if you guys question me, I will have the contracts ready. Okay, any questions about the list before I unveil it to the public?
Is Jimmy number one?
No, Jimmy's not number one.
Wow,
Jimmy's
so this is an
appropriate.
unbiased list.
And you've seen the list, so let's not play games.
We've seen the list. It's quite controversial. I might just have to put it
Okay,
out there
actually,
now.
yeah, precursor. Thoughts? You don't like my list, Tom?
I just have a lot of stuff that I made notes on, kind of deeper into the list. You know, we'll play it out.
So full disclosure, I expected to rip on the list. I made a top 21 list. There's actually a decent amount of like very similar values. There's a few stupid things that you did, and we'll talk about that as you go through.
The controversial thing is kind of overpower the fact that most of the list is okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting. I'm actually looking forward to seeing and a lot of this is personal, right? So I'm gonna go into 64 through 57. I'm just gonna rattle names from lowest to highest, and then after each tier, you guys interrupt me. Cool?
Yep.
Cool. Follow along at home, everybody. Robert Williams, Herbert Jones, Dom Sabonis, Josh Giddey, Jalen Brunson, Jonathan Kuminga, Kyrie Irving, RJ Barrett. That is the list. So 64 to 57. Gentlemen, thoughts?
Kyrie should not be on the list.
Shouldn't be on the list at all.
Correct. Not in
agree
the
with
top
that.
64. There's a couple guys, Keegan Murray, Ben Mathurin. They probably have better trade value than him.
I don't have Van Fleet on the list. He was one of the guys that was close. I know Tom probably wanted
That's
him on.
extremely controversial, anyways. RJ Barrett, super low in my opinion. Respect to the Canadian. You know, if you're looking at your contract here, $9 million a year, he's a great player. He's a great trade asset. He's a better trade asset than a Tyler Hero or someone like that. Right?
We're going to get to Hero very soon, so let's relax.
So-
I prefer Hero to Barrett. just because of what Hero can bring and has brought in the playoffs. I have not seen that from Barrett.
I'm going to call it heat bias, but okay.
And actually, I thought you were going to put Herb Jones higher because you really like Herb Jones.
I'm a big Herb Jones guy. I had to sneak him on, right? I'm paying him $1.7 million a year. Like, sure, of course. I thought
I have a hygiene question. Isaac, are you going to stop sweating tonight or no?
Well, I was playing basketball. I'm a little hot. Okay, the suit jacket doesn't help. It's fine. Those who are listening.
So I'm sure you're going to dry clean my suit jacket after you sweat all through it, right?
No.
I dry clean my stuff that you wear to work.
When? When did I ask? No cap.
The fans want to know. Full
I'm
cap.
continuing. Also, you guys aren't bugging me about Kuminga. I thought you would make fun of me for having Kuminga on the list.
No, he's got great potential.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good player.
Thanks, guys. 56-49. Desmond Bain, Jalen Green, Michael Bridges, Tyler Hero, De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Suggs, Karl Anthony Towns, LeBron James. Go ahead.
I mean, LeBron's the big name there, but I'm surprised Jalen Green is even in this.
You didn't think I'd
section
have
for
Jalen
you.
Green?
I didn't think you'd have him this high at least.
You did, okay, you thought
Because you slander Jalen Green.
I do, but I
ridiculously.
understand. He can score the ball as much as I hate him. So you are more shocked at the Jalen Green thing than having LeBron here.
No, I said LeBron's the big name there, obviously, but the first point I had was Jalen Green is a little high for you.
I think there's a couple names that are a little off. I think LeBron, even though I don't like him, should be a little higher. I think Suggs should actually be a little lower. He really didn't show much last year.
You're right. Yeah, he didn't. I'm banking on potential here. That sucks.
The thing about a guy like LeBron, guys that age, which you don't really get to that age, many players don't usually get to that age, but there's always the risk of an injury. LeBron's had a couple scares, kind of not anything serious.
So you think LeBron
but
should be lower? Actually, I think LeBron should be a little higher.
I think he should be higher, but there's always that, which I'm not, angry with him putting LeBron that low because there's always the risk of the injuries, the age,
Like, I don't think I need to justify having LeBron here. He's 37. He's an unrestricted free agent coming up in 2023.
But he's still a top 10 player in the world.
For 3 more years. Potentially, right? Give or take, +1, -1, whatever. I just don't want to. I don't have Chris Paul on my list, and it's for the same reason I have LeBron lower, because of money and because of age. So I'm glad that we agree there. I have Towns really low. Soon I will be paying him $56 million a year. That does not attract me at all. Anything else for that tier before I move on?
No, I honestly, I think Towns is where it should be.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that, guys.
No
This
problem.
is going well so far.
No problem.
48. He's not going to like this. Pascal Siakam.
Should be higher.
Bradley Beal, Franz Wagner, Jarrett Allen, Michael Porter Jr., Chris Middleton, OG Anunoby, Tyrese Halliburton. Tom, go ahead. Raptors bias, go.
It's just Franz Wagner, one of the most unproven. He's good, but he's we're talking about an all-star of. An all-star starter one season, all-NBA player. All-NBA.
Are you talking Siakam or Beal or both?
Siakam.
Mainly Siakam. I don't. Okay.
So I think Beal should be a little bit higher.
Beal should be higher as well. But this is where my Raptors bias.
And I think Beal should be 10
This is where my Raptors bias comes in, right? Okay. Siakam should be higher, so should Beal. But Franz Wagner being ahead of both of them is extremely controversial.
Can I just defend myself?
Respectfully.
With all due respect, can I defend myself?
Sure.
Pascal Siakam is an unrestricted free agent in 2024. I only have him for 2 more years. I'm paying him $35 million a year, just about. Bradley Beal. This one is very easy to defend. He's 29. I'm paying him $50 million a year. I have him until 2027, but I'm paying him $50 million a year. There's not many guys I want to pay $50 a year. Beal is not one of them. Franz Wagner is 20. He is that type of versatile 3-4 that can guard a lot of positions and can knock down the 3, and that's where the league is going. And I'm paying him $5.5 million a year, and I have his rights in 3 years. That's why I have the Franz Wagner love. And he went to the University of Michigan. Thank you very much. Anything else? That was a good.
He played with his brother.
And it's not Mo Wagner, not the one that gets it first.
Oh, that's why we're wrong.
Yeah. No, but Franz Wagner, regardless, it gets to you got to cut it off at some point with the young players.
The Michael Porter Jr. love, I think is not enough. I think he should be a little bit. I know he can score, but he's got to prove it and be healthy in order for him to get.
Yeah, last season was just not a good.
The MPJ one, you can actually talk me into having him lower because I am paying him a lot.
I'd put De'Aaron Fox ahead of him.
I
can agree with that.
Fox is sweet. We just
at least Fox
nobody ever gets to see him.
He's been on the Kings for his whole career. It's but at least he's shown us that he can.
And it's tough, right? Fox has nobody next to him, and Porter has Murray and Jokic. So you're right.
So one of my goals in this NBA season is actually to watch a Sacramento Kings game.
Good luck with that.
Should I write that one down?
It's a good goal. It's definitely.
Challenging
OG, one, but
OG, are you fine with having OG here? I thought you would want him.
Yeah, it's fine. OG
solid.
He quietly bumps his production up every year, but he's still not what Raptors fans have expected him to be.
On a championship level team, he is your third best player?
Third, fourth. Defensively, he is maybe even top 2. Like, he's a great defender.
Yeah, he can be.
So you could put him higher, but yeah.
40 to whatever is the next number. Drew Holiday, Jaren Jackson Jr. Let's just turn our pages down. Jordan Poole, LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Maxey, Damian Lillard at 35, Darius Garland, Zach LaVine. This is a tough tier. Go ahead, fellas.
It's a very tough tier. Again, there's lots of controversy here. Like LaMelo, the world seems to like LaMelo. We don't really like LaMelo, but he can make some plays. Jordan Poole obviously showed some potential, but he's super cheap. So if you're like trying to fit people into salary, I agree with Jordan Poole, and honestly, I thought you were going to put him a couple points higher. Drew Holiday, I really like him because he's a dog defensively, but again, he's one of those guys who just hasn't proven it enough when the opportunities presented it, other than last year.
Oh, the money's a lot for Drew Holiday, even as great as a player he is.
It's $34 million a year. I have him until 2025, and he's unrestricted. Just for the
Jordan Poole, that value is unbelievable.
You want him higher?
No. That's fine, but he's gonna be he'll be a solid player. Like he already is. But
it's the same Tyrese Maxey thing.
Yeah.
Maxey is likely the second best player on the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, I think Harden's gonna be pretty good this year. But again,
think so?
I think he will be.
Okay.
But this is a really tough.
Hamstring Harden.
I struggled a lot with this tier. Right, Damian Lillard is awesome.
Yeah.
Soon I will be paying him $61 million a year.
That's a lot.
I hope Dame comes back. I really do. I think he's good for basketball. He's so much fun to watch.
I agree.
He'll come back. He'll be back. $61 million is that's probably too much even for a guy like Dame.
Right? Like you would think 50 for Towns is the worst contract in the NBA, and then it's like, oh,
is 35 low? Maybe, but look, I'm not too upset with it.
Tyrese Maxey's on maybe the best contract in the NBA, right? 4 years, $12 million. That's just unbelievable.
Where
right?
was he drafted? Like 25, 26,
yeah,
something like that?
Yeah, it was in the 20s.
I'm a big Darius Garland guy.
Are you okay with him here?
That's fine. That's fine. He was an all-star. Maybe shouldn't have been an all-star,
locked
but
in for a long time.
Yeah, he'll be
solid.
Yeah, that Cavs young core is solid.
Again, top 30 in this list, which you're approaching now, these are big-time guys.
Mm-hmm. Or they're young-time guys, which we will address in this
obviously
tier.
potential.
32 to 25. DeAndre Ayton.
Too high.
Chet Holmgren.
Too low.
Bam Adebayo. Trae Young.
Too low.
Jaden Ivey. Jabari Smith. Paulo Banchero. Brandon Ingram. Go ahead.
So, unfortunately, Ayton, again, last year, he would probably be top 20 on this list. Maybe even like 17 or 18. He now has a big contract, and he's proven himself to be a bit of a bitch. Like, if you can't play for CP3 and who's Phoenix's coach?
Monty Williams.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Who's awesome, then how is this going to play out? I don't know. Holmgren, listen, he's a freak show, but actually I think 31 is too low. I think he should be higher.
Okay.
And then the only other thing that I think is obvious, I do not like Trae Young at all, but he needs to be about 15 points higher than 29.
I disagree.
Tom, back me up on this one.
Trae Young, I have him significantly higher. He's proven that he's a top 5 point guard in the league, maybe top 3 at sometimes.
It depends.
He's led his team. He led his team in the conference finals.
In a fake
as
playoff
the
season.
only as the only guy really all-star they had, right? So it's like, how can you have a player like that not be valued that high? A player that can lead his team to that deep into the playoffs, right?
Is that a question you want me to answer? Or are you just saying, okay, respectfully, $43 million a year for a guy who will be maybe the worst defender in basketball doesn't appeal to me. I look at defense, especially with the guards and the versatility of those guards in the East.
He's a fringe superstar.
He's not a superstar.
He's a fringe. No, sorry, I said that wrong. He is almost a superstar,
and he won't become.
And he's still young.
I don't see Trae Young becoming much better than what he is now. I don't think he's going to reach what Dame is. I don't see that happening. And Dame is terrible in defense as well. But I understand Trae Young. I can entertain. Look,
it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with them in the next couple of years.
And then the issue with the young guys is, right, Paulo, Smith, Ivy, Chet, there's a good chance their value never gets higher than what it is right now.
Yeah, they're unproven, so it's like to put that. So that's the other thing. You're putting rookies that high.
People really like Paulo, eh?
He looked quite good, but,
super athletic, obviously lots of skills.
And he's got beef with someone I'm about to talk about that Tom's probably educated on, I bet Tal isn't. 24 to 17. This is tough. Rudy Gobert, Paul George, DeJounte Murray, Shai Gilgeous, Jaylen Brown, Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi Leonard. That is 17. Go ahead.
So because the jerk-offs in Minnesota value Gobert high, the rest of the world, even in France, they don't value Gobert this high. So I'm dropping Croissant down a little bit. Again, you've got these awesome wings. PG, if he was healthy, he'd be higher. Kawhi, if he was healthy, he'd be a little bit higher. I don't think any of these are really too far off. Gobert down a little bit, but again, PG, Kawhi, and Jay Murray. I even thought you'd be putting him higher because you love him.
Who? Jaden Murray?
He said Jay Murray.
Jay Murray.
Jamal Murray. The ACL. That scares me. Right now, I think that
but
was
he's been out a
injury.
long time, so he should be okay.
Because of that fact, because of the ACL thing, that might have even made me have him lower. Canadian. True.
Yeah.
So I respect him. Kawhi Leonard, I think he's too low.
You want him higher.
I want him higher. He's one of those guys. He's a
If
forward.
he decides he wants to bring a team to a championship, he can do that.
He's one of those forwards, and I put Jimmy in this tier as well. We'll get to Jimmy eventually, obviously.
Who could drag a team to the finals.
Yeah, a forward that can do it all.
Jimmy, Kawhi. I don't know.
And Kawhi has been
the bigs. It's hard to say, right? Because Jokic and Embiid really haven't dragged a team to the finals.
Kawhi has been the best defender in the league at one point, not a fraudulent Marcus Smart type defender, right?
Nice.
He has been the best defender in the world at one point. He's been the best player in the world at one point, right? And it wasn't that long ago, right? So injuries are a concern, yeah, but I think he should be hired based off of what he can give to a team. As soon as he's healthy, he puts his team in, and the Clippers are probably, some people say, championship contenders this year.
I am quite high on the Clippers, but that's a different podcast. To answer Tal, Gobert has to be this high. He has to be this high because
they traded him for 17 first-round draft picks?
Yes. Because of what the market in real life called for him, I factored that in. If that didn't happen, I would have him at like 50. I hate Gobert. I slander him all the time, and it's justified, I think. Sorry, Carson Sadler, who's a big Gobert guy. And
Carson was pretty adamant about that. Yeah.
I don't get it, but whatever.
Well, I know why, because Carson doesn't really have the ability to score, but he's a really good defender.
He's getting bucks
on the scoring front. He's got the Kawhi Leonard mid-range down.
Really? That's big because he's athletic enough to get that shot off.
Yeah, he just gets unlucky at the hoop sometimes, at the rim sometimes.
He's got a tough touch.
Yeah.
And then the Kawhi thing, I completely understand having him, wanting to have him higher. I just think either the value and the young contracts.
The other thing about Kawhi is he's only 31.
He is 31, and $44 million a year for Kawhi, I'm fine with paying.
And Kawhi has taken at least 2 years off of the NBA, right? Took the year off in San Antonio, took the last year off.
And he's also
But what happens when he came back from that, right?
Well, the thing is with Kawhi, like, if he wanted to, he's a Terminator. He can play till 45. But I can also see him retiring tomorrow. That could happen.
I agree with you.
It's the same deal with Giannis.
He thinks differently.
Where he's just a very different superstar. 16 to 11 here. Anthony Davis, Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Evan Mobley, Zion Williamson, Jimmy Butler. This is a lot of personal preference here, so I'll let you guys make fun of me. Go
ahead. Zion being there, that's fine, right? But it's tough to put him there.
I had Zion at 14, just so you know. Like a lot of these numbers are very similar.
It's tough to have him there based from the injuries and stuff, and the weight gain. But when Zion's healthy, he's top 20, 25 player in the league.
He was so good.
Yeah, he was. Jimmy at 11, like I said, one of those guys that can do it all. I actually am surprised you had him that low.
This is not a bad list.
You could say it's pretty unbiased for that part at least.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Barnes
I like
15. I had Barnes is 15 as well. I think that was actually a pretty accurate.
Yeah, let me know how my list kind of overlap with
yours
Mitch,
here. I had a 13, so a few points higher than yours.
That's very high for D Mitch.
Book 12. You would Book at 14. Anthony Davis, I had way far down. I had him like 32. You had him at 16.
30.
Injuries.
I slander AD for many reasons, but I understand.
Listen, unless
he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Unless he gets the right vaginal cream, I don't think he's getting very good this year.
Booker being. You had Booker.
Am I allowed to say that?
Keep going. Tom, go ahead. Go ahead.
Booker being below Mobley might be slightly controversial considering Devin Booker was the best player on, arguably the best player on a finals appearance team, right? Mobley is not completely proven yet.
Totally,
right?
yeah, totally fair. I'm banking on Mobley's potential.
I guess if you look at money,
I have Mobley at 10. I think Mobley has huge
so I guess if you look at money, then maybe you could say that. Yeah. But so for mine, where were we at 16? I had Mobley, Zion. I had Trae Young at 14.
Sure. I had Trae Young at 11.
Yeah. Then I had Booker. And then I think I'll let you get into the rest because I have some guys that you have in your top 10
Okay.
here.
Did you see? Look, the Raptors fans that think I'm anti-Scotty Barnes. I'm not. I think he's the 15th most
He's
valuable asset.
anti-Pascal Siakam, anti-Fred VanVleet, apparently.
I wonder
Not
what
OG.
Urban Paul's going to rank Scotty Barnes.
Because I completely understand what Scotty brings. I just think what Mobley and Cade. Like,
I was
we
in
haven't
Toronto a
mentioned
couple weeks ago, and there's anytime I'd see anybody with any Toronto or anything, I'd be like, straight up, Cade for Barnes. And they're like, no, Barnes is better. Barnes is better.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
then we were at some fast food place. No, Starbucks. And the guy's like, Cade.
So that guy valid. He valid. Is he valid?
He's valid.
He valid.
Yeah, he cap.
No cap.
No cap.
He's valid. No cap.
Valid, no cap.
10-1.
word I don't
This
know.
is it. Kevin Durant.
Translator.
Kevin Durant at 10. Jason Tatum. Kate Cunningham. Steph Curry. John Morant. Anthony Edwards. Joel Embiid. Nikola Jokic. The Greek Freak. And Luka Doncic. 10-1. I have Luka as the most valuable asset in the NBA. Tom, let you go first, and then Tal, I'll let you spew some nonsense.
I'm just going to take a gamble and say I'm speaking on behalf of both of us, saying that Ant-Man is too high.
Speaking on both behalf of Tal and you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people agree with that. That's a little biased. I know you're a
They have
big...
at 6,
I have him at 5.
5.
I love Anthony Edwards.
I have him at 12 on my list.
Actually, I have him at 8.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily completely agree with Tom on this one. I've got him, obviously, a couple points I'm in between you guys.
Point of the matter
He's
is
awesome.
5 is too high, I think.
So your jaw.
You
over
have
Ant-Man?
him. You have him above Ja, who's proven to be the best player on the team already.
You need
right?
to watch Hustle just one more time when they did the
Yeah,
alley-oop
sure.
off the backboard
Yeah.
in the first
Okay.
scene.
Yeah.
That brings them up a couple points.
One more Hustle rewatch, and Ant-Man's going to go to 4. So I have to stay away from Hustle for a bit.
I've always been big on guys that can lead their team to, the finals, whatever. So Tatum, you have him Ant higher than that. I don't see the logic in that. They're both scorers.
Okay.
One had a good team. He was the best player on his good team. The other,
So you want to do
Not
the
so
Tatum
much.
Ant-Man argument?
sure.
Tatum's contract is not bad at all. Ant-Man's contract is $11 million, and then I have his rights, right? So I can throw any max at him I want. And he's really good in hustle. No, joke aside. I love Ant-Man. I think he's I think he is where the league is going. Again, hyper-athletic dudes that can score from anywhere. Defense scares me a bit, but he's 20, right? Yeah, he's 20.
I think
he's
he'll
gonna
get
figure it out.
there. I don't know if he'll get there with the Timberwolves, success-wise.
That's the issue.
We talked about this. Timberwolves, my call is a second-round exit playoffs. Right? They'll beat the bad teams. You play them in a 7-game series. A good team will destroy them.
I agree with you.
Well done, Tom. Tal, go ahead.
So I have to admit, our top 10 lists are quite close. The one thing that I need to put off the side, KD doesn't even deserve to be talked about.
You don't think I
No.
should have left him off?
Yeah, he's just in the category of asshat. You don't even get to be ranked.
Kyrie, Ben Simmons.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, fair.
And I'm not going to lie, that's actually Bill Simmons' take, and I just stole it from him.
Yeah, that's why.
But he steals material from us all the time.
That's why I
So
tried
it's
to
fine.
use some of my own material,
Yeah.
so I didn't want to steal all of Ben Simmons.
So I've got Mobley 10, I've got Cade 9, I have Ant at 8. Now, I made this list before I watched the replay last night, so I might move him
Did
out
you actually watch Hustle last night?
just a few minutes. Like,
Sick.
Mom was taking time doing whatever girly stuff, and so we were supposed to watch 21 Bridges.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just watching some highlights. Relax."
See, if we're going off of hustle, then Juancho Hernan Gomez has to be top 5. He's got to be 4.
Bo Cruz.
Yeah,
where's Bo Cruz?
Bo Cruz, yeah.
In his
He's
contract.
a Raptor now, so let's just put that out there.
I've got Curry 7, Tatum 6, Ja 5, and Embiid 4, Jokic 3. I have Luka as 2 and Giannis as 1. I think they're pretty
What do you
interchangeable.
have, Luka or Giannis?
I have Luka at 1.
Thank you.
It's interchangeable, though. It's like, if you said Giannis, I would not have a problem at all.
I respect the Giannis at 1.
My top 10 was Steph, Kawhi. I had Kawhi at 9. KD, we're not going to talk about KD. He was at 8 for me just because, based on the fact that he's...
No. We don't say his name. He's like Voldemort.
Slim Reaper.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Slim Reaper, yeah. Anyways, Cade I had 7, so I'll...
Nice.
Unbiased,
You
right?
had Cade higher than me?
Yeah.
Oof,
I had
shoot,
Cade
I
at
have to
7.
redo this list.
You got to look at the guys that... He's a facilitator. He's a dominant point guard, right? He's big.
dude, you don't
he can
have
do
to sell
everything.
me.
I know, but I'm
15
just saying
pounds of
too.
muscle?
And a beard?
And a
And he's
beard,
rapping now?
some
Oh
big
my
hair.
God.
Yeah, like
And Ashton is his trainer.
he's and I
We
have
need to
Ja,
get Ashton on the show.
and I have Ja at 6, one above Cade because they're the same value to their team, but Ja has led his team further, right?
Yeah,
Just because it's
yeah,
the
Ja
it's
is
the
2
group.
years older.
So that's
Yeah.
why I have that there. Tatum I have at 5, could be a little high based off his finals performance,
No,
but
that's too high.
okay. Anyways, Embiid at 4, Jokic at 3. It speaks for itself. Giannis at 2, Luka at 1.
Good.
Well,
So overall, we're actually pretty close. Like we talked a little trash about Isaac, but there's not anything that was crazy. Like about the biggest difference that we had was Trae Young. We had him lower. Sorry, we had him higher than you did. Some of the young guys like Chet, maybe you probably didn't rank them as high as we did, but overall, pretty close.
yeah. If you want to follow the list up at home, just like I'll send it to you. Like I will actually send you the list. I'm pretty proud of it. And if you think that like, whoa, why do you have that guy so high or why do you have him so low? His contract is probably not favorable or favorable, which is really what determined a lot of this ranking. I just want to let you know about a conversation, an email thread that the three of us shared. I'm going to read an excerpt from it.
Because I'm just three.
Us three.
Oh, okay.
So, just in our email thread of discussing our plans for the show, this is how these two treat me. I just want the people to see this, okay? You guys probably know what I'm going to say.
This is confidential material.
No,
that
I'm
information
leaking
was
it.
said in private.
I'm leaking it.
Man, like, did you part of the FBI raid? Like, was this stuff in Mar-a-Lago?
Tal, this is so in our Tal.
I'm
I have made a top 20. My list is so much better than yours. How did you pass math in school? Hashtag fire Al. Let me just break this down.
That was me.
That's Tal.
I may have started the heat.
Hashtag fire Al. Completely unrelated topic. 3 days later, Al was fired. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So I think it's very relevant.
Yep.
I pretty much started the trend.
How did you pass math in school? Dude, what does this have to do with math? Like, $44 million a year? Is that what you're... I don't understand how this affects math.
The money thing
you said
took over your
contracts
list.
are relevant.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
money thing
yeah,
took over your list.
Cost,
Math.
value.
Math, that implies that I struggled with dividing the year by the total salary. That's what that implies.
Trae Young would imply to me that you obviously did struggle with
Yeah,
math.
your math is bad. You're ranking all these guys here. You had RJ Barrett
keep
getting paid
going.
$9 million a year. Like, so low.
Tom responded, just finished my top 20 list. Lots to debate about your list, Isaac. Some things you got on there are very controversial, with all due respect. Which is just,
So, just to be respectful about it, but yeah.
Then, I didn't even have a chance to respond. Tal hit him right back really quickly. Isaac has a brain that is a little relaxed, so you have to speak slowly to him and repeat often. That is how these guys treat me. Okay, so I'll let you laugh. That's when we have guests. This is how our conversations look like. But Tal says something, the guest responds in a jokey way, and then Tal's like, "He is a relaxed brain. You have to repeat often." That's how the go
But
ahead.
for those people that haven't listened to earlier episodes, it's a Rocky take from a long time ago. So often Isaac will be at like a retail place or whatever, and then I'll say to the person, you have to speak a little slow to him. He has a relaxed brain.
Again, not a good thing. I don't encourage it, but we will literally be cashing out at Zayre's, and he'll say to the cashier, like, he's a little slow. Or he has a relaxed, he's punchy. Like, you just can't say things like that, but that's fine. Also, our last guest was Albert. He was great. He broke his leg shortly after he was on the show. Tom, be careful of basketball on Thursday. Just letting you know, like, I don't want to, just wanted you to know that.
Why me and why not, like...
Well, because our last guest, Albert.
Yeah.
days
Oh,
later.
that's what... Oh, I see now. I see
yeah.
the connection now.
So you're up next.
Because I was on the... Okay.
Did you
Yeah.
have any conversation with Robin Deans in the last few days?
Me?
Yeah. He's the eye doctor guy, and he
Can't say I did.
pulled his Achilles when we were playing tennis yesterday.
Oh, sorry, Robert.
So this is all time. Robin. Good dude.
Oh, it's a Step Brothers reference you accidentally just made, but I won't. It's a really obscure one. Okay, so we'll talk about the Avila stuff.
Yes. So why don't you talk about the internet craze, because that was actually pretty cool.
Do you want to do your boring stuff first?
No, you go first.
Okay. Nick Fury said there was an idea, and then he goes on to talk about the Avengers Initiative. Me and my cousins, shout out. We got a huge shout out to Colin,
Noah,
Noah,
big time shout out.
and Uncle Phil, their father.
Yep.
We had an idea to make
Auntie
signs.
Steph get any credit? Because she's a pretty big baseball fan too.
Yeah. Shout out Auntie Steph as well, respectfully. We had an idea to peacefully protest at the Tigers game. So we buy these big Bristol boards from Dollarama. We write some not so nice things. One of them said fire Al. One of them said sell the team Chris. Al is general manager, former, and Chris is the team owner. So
yeah, you got a little bit of credit to Mom, because your sign was better than
Oh
Cole.
yeah, Mom painted my sign. If those who have seen it,
Can I cut you off for a second?
Please.
So I was reading the comments on, I think it was Barstool Sports, right? That post was on, and one of the comments really caught my eye. It was something like, I wish the Tigers would put as much effort, the Tigers put as much effort into the team as these guys did into their signs.
No,
Something
that was
like that.
specifically related to Colin.
Yeah.
The guy on the left.
There's like 6 comments all relating to very similar phrasing. The fans didn't like your signs. Get that aside. we make these signs. On one side, we scribble like "Go Tigers" in crayon. And then the other side, we put the not so nice thing. So in case someone sees, it's like, hey, look, we're supporting the team. But clearly, we're not. We're anti-establishment. Okay? So we get into the game. We buy $10 tickets, final. We scored. So we get in, and before we even sneak in, before we get in, a worker's like, hey, those signs are too big, without even seeing what they're like what it says. We're like, oh, okay. When you go to a Tigers game, there's a ticket scanner, and then there's like a gate, and there's like a long kind of wall. And between the gate and the ground, there's a small gap. So you probably know where this is going. I slipped the signs under the gap, went through ticket scanner, and then walked to the stadium and said, oh, there are my signs. Picked them up, and then went to our seats.
Nice move.
So, yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
I
knew there was some type of play, but you said I'm going to tell you on the show.
So that's how we snuck the signs in. So, first of all, they shouldn't have even...
full disclosure, he does not have a relaxed brain.
Yeah, I was proud of that. Well, I think Uncle Phil was really, really integral to helping us plan this.
Yeah.
We're calling Noah and I are just walking around with these Bristol boards. So we go to our seats, we make friends with some dudes who clearly know what we're doing, right? Any Tigers fan is in tap with the team is like, oh, some dudes with jerseys that are clearly fans with signs probably aren't here to be nice. We're watching the game. It's such a great game. It's 0-0 in the ninth inning. Top of the ninth inning, 2 outs, full count. The Tigers then proceeded to give up 7 runs. Tom, I don't know how to even compare this to other sports. It's like being completely tied, and then you allow a touchdown, and then you fumble the kick return, and then they score another touchdown, and then you throw a pick six. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So we're livid, and we're like, okay, let's just try to get on TV. So the 3 of us, me and my cousins, kind of go behind home plate. Sneak behind home plate. We're the 12th, 15th row or so with these massive signs. We're not really sure of an attack plan to get on TV. And we knew there's a stairwell. And if you just walk down the stairwell, it'll bring you to the TV, bring you to the shot. So okay, whatever. I pick my sign up. I go down. I was there for about a second and a half. 1 pitch with the sign, clear as day. Before the guy, hey. So I'm like, okay. I very calmly walk back up the stairs and just completely out of the seating,
section.
Completely gone in the concourse close to the exit. Colin and Noah are still in the section. I don't know what we do because my cousin just got kicked out. The worker stayed behind home plate for the remainder of the game because I don't know if he saw Colin and Noah, but he probably didn't want me coming back. So they watched the game from very nice seats, but didn't get on TV because the man was right there, guarding it. And then, we kind of walk out. We're laughing. It was really funny. I don't know if I'm on TV at this point. I'm hoping. And before I even check the broadcast, I open up Twitter and I see Tiger fan accounts W sign guy, do with this. And then I look and there's a few lunatic Tiger fans that saw me and posted it and took screenshots. So we thought it was pretty funny. We sent it to Barstool Detroit. Shout out Barstool. They reposted it. Not even posted it. And tagged the podcast account, which was just a really funny.
How'd they know that?
I sent it from the podcast account.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So then, if you saw us posting about that, you probably did. That was what all that was. And Avila, the GM, who we were protesting, got fired. A couple days later, shout out Colin, because that was him. That was his sign. So Colin got Avila fired. That's the story about how I did that little spiel with my cousins.
Cool. So just a couple more points. The Tigers just lost. So this is Monday. Taping, it's about now 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. They're now 31 games below 500. They pretty much need to play 500 ball the rest of the season to only lose 100 games. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. So there's going to be huge, big losses again. They're just so bad. Isaac and I were talking, who's going to be in their lineup next year? Not a lot of guys. They should have decent pitching again. But unless they find a bunch of guys, they're going to score 2 runs a game again. Miggy's going to play again. That dude, Joey M. from Washington, has more home runs than Miggy. And most of the Tigers, I want them to be better.
No one cares.
Yes, people do care.
No.
They want them to be better.
I care about getting into this game for $10.
It's pretty much, unfortunately, that's what it is. Good stadium, cheap seats, some good young talent that may or may not work out. That's pretty much what it's going to be for the next 3 or 4 years.
Tom, you big baseball guy. Any thoughts on this?
I don't pay enough attention to it. The Tigers would be my team.
If the Tigers were good, would you be a fan?
I would probably tune in more. But it's if a team's if I don't watch baseball and the local team is that bad, it's is there even a reason to jump in? So I might be on, that side of the spectrum.
Nope. No cap.
No
Tal,
cap.
any other Tiger thoughts?
I don't.
I have no thoughts on the Tigers.
I have so many points, but it doesn't matter, right? Like, they've got one of the worst offenses in the history of baseball. They've got a pretty decent pitching staff held together with duct tape and peanut butter.
An excellent bullpen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tigers suck, but we protested and Colin got the general manager fired. So
Good
we're
job.
fine. Good job, Colin.
That was cool.
Good job,
Highlight of the
guys.
season for the Tigers right there. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the comments. Was like the guy with the sign was today's hero. That was one of the comments. I have no other thoughts. Do we want to do? We're about 45. Are you fine with doing guest topics? I think it should be longer because the people are here.
Yeah, talk.
Guest
I got a
topics.
couple things, okay?
Yes, go for it.
Kind of random. Best of these 3 tennis players. I know you guys are big tennis guys, right? You guys get out quite a bit, right?
Tal more so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So best of these 3. You can even rank them if you wanted. Nadal, Djokovic, Federer, right? The big 3 of men's tennis.
Let me predict my dad's 3. He's gonna have Joker last because he's not vaccinated, and that's the only reason why he's gonna have him
Figured
last.
as much, yeah, for you.
And then it's Federer and Nadal, right?
Yeah.
I think he'll have. Oh, I don't know. I think he'll have Federer 1, Nadal 2, and then anti-vax 3.
Boom.
Okay.
You're right. Federer's the GOAT, right? Like, he is the sweetest tennis player of all time. And he's got the best ground strokes. He's, like, awesome. Nadal is a beast. And Djokovic is amazingly talented, but is an asshat. So he's third.
And that covers our tennis content for the next 3 months. So thank you, Tom.
Yeah,
Now we're
so
done with
spice it.
tennis.
Okay.
Serena Williams
done.
is retiring.
And she announced it through Vogue. Sorry, that's
What's
just.
that? What's that?
I didn't even know that.
It's some like girl magazine. Yeah, if you
Oh.
look at the post, it's per Vogue. So I don't
Oh,
really
I didn't know
understand.
that.
Yeah,
Okay, so respectfully, no male would know about
unless they're
That.
tapped into Vogue. Yeah,
Right,
Which
okay.
I'm not.
which. Okay, sorry, I thought
Are
you
you
were.
Madonna did a Vogue song
Sorry, I thought
about
you were.
35 years ago.
Tom likes Vogue a lot.
Yeah, big
Next-
Vogue guy.
next
Yeah.
question.
You kind of dressed like a Vogue model.
You can't even see my.
It's a nice
pockets are-
jacket. You lost the pin on the way in.
Yeah, I lost the pin. Pockets were tucked in
I've
now,
got
but I do have it.
taco
So.
pin from Urban Paul. Shout out to Hustle and Al.
Yeah, we've heard that one a few times. The taco pin.
Yeah.
What else you got, Tom?
Next one, Anthony Davis. We talked about him.
Hmm.
Will he be a top 10 player in the league next season? Yes or no?
I'm gonna say yes. I think he's extremely talented. He's defensive player of the year guy. I say yes.
He's a top 4 or 5 talent, but I'm going to say no. Injuries.
I'd be fine with that.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say he's gonna have a good season, but there's too much young talent that will overthrow him this year.
Like guys like Jaw and Luca, and like they're
Your
Ant-Man,
boy Ant-Man, yeah.
Cade, Mobley.
I think he'll be in the 15 to 10 range.
Yep, I agree with you.
He'll be in that tier. I'm gonna be on the. I think he'll be closer to the 10.
Okay. Next question: is Matthew Stafford a top 5 quarterback going into this NFL season?
Yeah. Yeah, he has to be. We'll go through it. Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, Allen, Staff.
So the first 4, there's no debate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right? But then you've got Joe Burrows.
Well,
Let's assume he's okay from appendectomy.
first of all, just Burrow.
Burrow.
We talked
yeah,
about this
Burrow.
one. Herbert is better than Burrow.
Herbert
Yeah, Herbert and
is,
Burrow
is
were
right there.
were
So
there
I
in
think
the
actually
discussion.
Stafford is like 6 or 7.
You're probably right. And then we didn't even talk about. I'm big on Lamar. Lamar's
Yeah.
right there.
Are you guys Lamar guys? I don't
I'm
know.
What
more so
about
than he is.
TB12? Like not the one in Tampa, the one in Detroit.
Tim Boyle.
Yes.
Yeah, Tim Boyle. I'm higher on Lamar than I think my dad is.
Yes.
I'm not a huge Lamar guy, just based off of his.
Like I think he's a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
He's MVP. He's awesome. He just doesn't throw the ball like other guys. He just runs.
Yeah, which is like,
Staff-
how far can you really get with that? I'd say yes, Stafford's in my top 5 going in, just
Okay.
based off of Super Bowl
Like
champions,
last
right?
year, he for sure.
Yeah. So Burrow was always in that argument, them at 5-6. Herbert, I think, is better than Burrow talent-wise.
Totally.
Burrow's had more success. But yeah, the top 4 is basically set in stone. I think Stafford takes the 5th spot going in.
Respect.
Okay.
Next one, where does Kobe Bryant rank all time?
Not top 10.
My dad's gonna say like 30.
No, like 11 or 12 or something like that.
He's back.
We've had this discussion.
Yeah, he's back half of my top 10. He's probably 8, 9,
Yeah,
10.
I agree with you, Isaac. Just
7,
I think we can all agree that he's overrated compared to what some people, with all due respect, right?
Respectfully to the Bryant family.
Yeah, he is overrated
Yeah, and
compared
those
to what
cops
some
in
people
LA that
rank him.
took pictures.
Yeah, it was
Jerks.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Some people have him as their GOAT. Most people have him, not most people, a lot of people have him in their top 3 with
I just-
LeBron and MJ, right?
I just don't buy. Like I just Kareem was pretty good.
I have Kobe somewhere between 7 and 10. Like
I think we're
pretty much
very
what you
similar.
said.
I think we're very similar.
But
top
rings is huge in this argument. He was the best player on 2 championship teams,
different eras.
right? So that big three in
I
Boston.
have him
yeah.
just outside the top 10.
Yeah.
Right, guys like MJ, LeBron, Wilt, Bill, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan.
I would have Kobe ahead of Tim Duncan.
You'd have Kobe
I
ahead
have
of Tim
Kobe
Duncan?
ahead of Tim Duncan, respectfully. But I can totally respect and get the Tim Duncan argument there. I would have Kobe higher.
Yeah, I don't have Steph Curry listed yet.
Yeah, the Curry thing is tough.
Yeah.
He's 10-ish now. I think we did it. I think he's 11,
Yeah,
10,
obviously,
9 now.
like, the next 2-3 years are going to make a big difference between guys like Giannis, Curry.
What else got? You got one more, Tom?
I got one more.
That's it.
Early prediction for NFL MVP.
Oh, that's fun.
Who do you guys have?
I would need to look at where the money is. Like, if I were betting. You know what I mean? Like, what are the kind of...
Well,
the
Josh
odds?
Allen, I think I saw was...
no
okay.
worries.
Okay.
Okay. Probably Allen would be my pick. That's the easy one, I think.
I agree with you. Mahomes, it's not going to be certain, like, how his wide receivers are going to be. So, like, if Juju is his number one target, I like Juju, but he's not a number one target.
No cap.
100 receptions kind of guy. And
Tal,
somebody stole his bike.
I agree. Gabriel Davis, I think the guy's name is, right?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, you got a guy like that now. Apparently, he's...
Didn't he have like 4 touchdowns?
Yeah,
in the
like,
playoff game
so...
last year?
Like, he's obviously a weapon. You don't just
Yeah.
play a game like that and just fall off the map completely.
The only reason why I won't have Mahomes is simply because of that division. They're going to lose a fair amount of games in the regular season just because of how good that division is.
Stephon Diggs is a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Oh,
I
he's-
think it's pretty much... You could say he's top 3 even.
Right? Cup Diggs.
I have Allen as my MVP. I think if we're going to betting now, I think he is the betting favorite.
I would want to see where the money is on guys like Herbert. I would want to see where the money is on guys like
Joe Burrow.
Brady, Burrow, like that. Those kind of
Running
quarterbacks.
back
those
guys,
good
it's hard to
teams.
say. Like who, like if Henry or
Jonathan
Cook
Taylor,
actually
I
stay
think,
healthy,
is the
Jonathan
yeah,
Taylor.
he's the guy now.
He's
I
an
guess,
offensive player of the year bet. He's not an MVP bet.
Yeah.
Okay, good job bringing football. We're going to get into that probably in the next few episodes.
Yeah.
Tom, anything to the people before we sign off?
Well, I just want to say it's great to be back in the show. It's great to have been back in the show again. I've had a lot of fun.
Great having you, Tom.
Yeah,
You fit in well
it's
between the dynamics. I have a question. And one of the things we're going to get into more debate topics. So here's a couple things that are really good in life. Naps or tacos? What's better?
Naps or tacos?
Naps.
Yes.
Naps are better. They're more sustainable.
I'm a big nap guy.
I'm a huge nap
Anyone
guy.
that knows me will say it. So I'm going to say naps, but tacos are definitely up there.
Soft or hard tacos? Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can do
yeah.
like the chalupa thing where you
Yeah,
put the
right,
hard taco
yeah,
and
like,
soft
yeah.
and wrapped around it.
Yeah. So I guess that's a hard question.
I know,
Actually.
it's a good
That's
one.
a good question.
I was in a store a little while ago. Were you with me?
No, you were in New York.
Okay,
So
I was
got
in
a
New
text.
York.
I got a text from mom saying naps or tacos. Dad's having a debate with the stranger.
You know, can I change my answer? Okay, because I've just thought about this now. If I'm sitting down at my house and I'm somewhat tired after a long day of work,
And
whatever,
somewhat hungry.
yeah, if I want a nap or a taco, I think I will take the taco.
The taco you do not have to make. It is prepared for you.
Yes, the taco, 100%.
Okay. And I love naps.
The only thing that I don't like about naps is sometimes I nap longer than I want to.
The only issue with naps for me is whenever I nap, I just get yelled at and get in trouble. So I
You gotta
can't
be
nap.
strategic about when you nap.
I can't get.
Yeah.
I can't
Send a
nap
group
without
text
getting
and
yelled at.
say,
Strategic
taking
naps,
a
yeah.
long nap, respect.
Which you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have to announce. You shouldn't have to do a press release saying I'm going to take a nap. But
It's relevant.
You gotta take a strategic nap, yeah.
Do you have
Anyways.
any other dumb topics to throw?
I've got more dumb topics, but I'm just going to save those for future episodes. And that was a good question.
That was a great question.
Naps or tacos. And
Hard,
the guy
that
in
might have been
store's
one of the
like,
hardest questions I've ever heard.
That's a really
Yeah.
quite good debate.
So it's like, what is it? Meaning of life, naps or tacos, are like the big two.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I got nothing else. Tal, sign off to the public.
Okay, episode 702. Now we're back on a roll. We're going to be dropping every week.
Football.
Send us your stuff. Football is coming. Basketball schedule is going to come out soon. Road trip is going to come, and we're going to talk about it. Peace out, everybody.